Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 30th. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com for more awesome readers and astrologers. Also, this week, I am doing August custom readings, so if you want to find out what is going on for you in August, you can do that in the link in the description below. But you start off with the Three of Diamonds. Be careful of paperwork this week. Again, with all the retrogrades, this card comes up a lot. It's just a warning card. It says, do not allow there to be any problems with paperwork. I would also encourage, you have like several people showing up here. Whenever this card shows up with people, I'd say be very careful to avoid arguments and things like that. So again, that's what I would avoid arguments if I were you at this time, because again, things might not be clear. You might not be really sure of the situation, or again, the other person might not be sure, and it could turn into something that it doesn't need to. So no arguments, none of that. Next, Queen of Hearts could be new love coming in for you. You have the Jack of Diamonds as well, which could represent an admirer. So if you're single and looking, these cards could represent love coming in for you. Could also just represent a friend coming in for you at this time. So if, again, could represent some sort of new friend or support coming in for a friend. And I also say this card also represents your mother. So it could represent your mother, talking to your mother, or advice coming from your mother, or it could represent somebody who gives you motherly advice, and that would be advice you would want to listen to. So again, if somebody's trying to take care of you, or if they're giving you very caring advice or something like that, or if you think, wow, you sound like my mom, then I would say listen to whatever that is. Next, you have the Joker. Coming up for a couple people this week. I just think we have a better sense of direction this week. Things might be a little bit more clear for us at this time. So again, I just feel like we could be a little bit more busy this week because again, we know we kind of have a better idea of what we should be doing in work or in business or in our love life or whatever. So again, I feel like we feel like taking action, like we actually want to move forward. And so a lot of you could be doing that. I also feel like this is a card of creating your own reality, kind of making things happen at this time. So again, a lot of you could be just kind of like making things happen at this time. You could be really good at manifesting or just creating things. On top of all that, this is a very good card for criticism, by the way. It's a very good card for making criticisms as well, because again, you could just be better at it. And it's also a great card for taking a risk at work. Again, where like maybe normally you would get fired or something like that, because the Joker, is a card of being kind of like above being punished in a lot of ways. Jokers in the time of kings, were allowed to. They were like the only people that were allowed to make fun of the king and and not be killed, basically. So when this card comes up, it can represent being above persecution and being able to take more risk at work where maybe normally you wouldn't be able to. Next, you have the Ace of Clubs, a great card of starting something new, and also a great card of just abundance, wealth, luck, prosperity, money gains, all that other stuff coming up for you. And it is a card of, I would say that if you do gain some money this week, hold on to it. Don't go, buying things that you don't need and stuff like that, because it can represent, it is very good for money, but it can also represent that money disappearing as quickly as it showed up. So I would say put some aside, don't spend it all because you don't want it to disappear. But just a great card for money and abundance. Next, you have the Five of Clubs. A very good card for your social life, I feel. It can represent jealousy, and it can represent people who like are a little bit jealous around you and things like that, but it can also just represent like new people coming into your life, new friends, making new connections and things like that. I would say that sometimes it's like sometimes we join a group and maybe we feel like there's a person in the group who doesn't like us for whatever reason, or they're looking at us weird or whatever. I'd say ignore those feelings. Again, you might feel like you have to prove yourself this week or whatever, or again, you might get that feeling from other people, which again, the Joker kind of backs that up. But I would just say go for it, and because I think it'll be worth it. The Five of Clubs is worth, it's worth proving yourself to other people with this card, because there's usually some sort of reward or some sort of benefit at the end. And finally, Jack of Diamonds again could represent an admirer, somebody who's interested in you. It can also represent cutting things out, deciding to remove things from your life. Whenever we're dealing with eclipses and all this other stuff, we usually remove stuff from our lives. We usually make changes. So again, that makes perfect sense to me. But it looks like a really good week for you. Again, I do feel like it's more focused on the people in your life. Again, you do have work here, you have love here, and all this other stuff, but I feel like the focus is more on relationships in general and, kind of like how they can benefit you, and you could be coming up with a lot of ideas there. So it looks good. So thank you again for watching. Again, if you want a custom August reading, link is in the description below, and enjoy your week.